Hello everyone, and welcome to this Territorialio video on problems with the exploit. Today we are covering a 77 player contest, and we're going to be talking about three things with the new cheating, exploit, Osmanli opening, whatever you want to call it in Territorialio. First off, we're going to be talking about some of the issues with this opening. You know, many of you have been watching my videos, but you skip ahead and you don't watch through everything as I'm trying to find a spawn. I actually ended up going over here in this region right here in just a sec. We're also going to talk about new metas, that there's some specific improvements that people have found, but you have to stick around if you want to hear about them. And we're also going to be doing a comparison in this video of me trying to test out some of these new metas. So the first thing that we're going to notice here with the meta, as I think we can up the speed just a little bit, is that there are clear problems. So the main issues with the meta is if you have proximity, like if you are close to people, this will not work. So if we go find a specific spawn, like let's look at this. Osmanli or just full send, cheat, exploit opening will not work in this case. Do you know why? Because one of these people will attack each other. But if you look at my pocket right here, I actually have a pretty good pocket where it will work for me. It could work, but in this game, I'm actually kind of playing normal. I was trying to test out some new things we're gonna talk about in a second. We're also gonna be doing a comparison to, we just need to find him. We're gonna be doing a comparison to Lazy, who is doing just mash the spacebar as fast as you can. That's it, to see kind of what the outcomes are. Some of you who are Territorialio nerds might be like taking lots of notes on this, and if you want a more detailed videos on like, how much land will I get if I do this? What about the new versions? Leave a comment and we'll see if I can do it. There's actually someone who's made a really good video that might be helpful that I'll talk about in a second. So let's keep going with this as we start out. And we're gonna take a look at my opening versus Lazy's opening. So Lazy here, he's just gonna full send. He's just mashing spacebar there. But me on the other hand, I do a full send, and now I'm just doing kind of like 0%, because what I heard from some people, and just so you know, all this is evolving really quick, is that doing 0% sends is actually functional. And there's a video by Asazi, that's the Osmanli 2 opening, and we'll talk about what Osmanli means in a second, that actually does some improvements in regards to safety that are really good. So I was here just testing it, basically just doing 0% sends, thinking this might be a little bit better. Not totally sure. If we pause, we can see I'm a bit behind here at 1259. We see Lazy's a little bit ahead, but he has less troops. So let's keep going with this. We can see kind of these two things right here with Lazy and with me. And effectively, I'm just kind of keeping on going with this, like, I think at this point I stopped, and I don't think you're supposed to stop here with the new updated meta. Like, the updated meta, I think, is effectively you go to infinite. But again, if you want to see a detailed video on that, leave me a comment in the description. Watch Asazi's video. It's actually really good if you need to deal with effectively all the kind of issues of the vulnerability of just full sending all the time. So if we look at this point in the game, I have like 5,400 land, 5,700 troops. Lazy has about 1,500 land, but he probably has a bunch of sends out. We could talk about some inefficiencies. He's got a bigger pocket. And let's just keep going and try to look a little bit more about some of the outcomes here. So Lazy has pretty much finished his attacks. He's got about 1,500 more land. I got about 3,000 more troops. I have better bots than him though. So this is kind of where a lot of Territorialio players know about micro, where things get different. And so you know, all this type of thing of just full sending, there's a lot of stuff that I am doing that with micro of like these advanced tactics that probably you should watch some of my other videos that are giving me an edge. So there's some, it's not just like you could just full send and win. So as we keep going, we kind of see this dueling pair, and I'm actually comparable with Lazy. The only difference I'd say that we have to think about with multiplayer, we're not in a vacuum like single player, and I have better bots. I just have better prospects, so we can probably go at normal speed now. So essentially, there's some new openings, and you can see me playing kind of normal. I didn't do that bad compared to Lazy just full sending. And I'm actually got a lot more troops. Some of that might be a little bit misplay on Lazy's part. And we'll see what happens in this contest. But this video is essentially to show you, you can still do okay with doing some of the kind of normal openings, and that these updating metas with like how you full send, basically doing lots of 0% sends, are evolving really quick. And I think people have got a pretty good look. Like in single player, part of the meta that I've heard about is people are just doing normal send timings and they're adding some additional 0% sends. So, like I said, if you want to do like a video and you want to hear about comparisons of what happens if I do a normal opening, what happens if I do the full send cheat exploit opening, and what happens if I do these new versions, and what are the outcomes, we can definitely do that. But the thing you always got to consider, it's always contextual, because Lazy here, he's got a big edge because he's all surrounded, he's got a lot of support, a lot of Void players get a lot of support, but I have some better targets right here. And we'll see how this plays out in this game, so I think we can actually speed this up to 3 times speed, and just kind of go through that you can still win games even if you're not on the top opening. So you see me going for Equalizer, I recognize Lazy down here, and kind of I knew in the game that I think he's just doing the standard Osmanli opening. And I'm going for Heavenly Kingdom. If you're curious about what Osmanli means, the cheat exploit thing, Osmanli means Ottoman in Turkish, and this opening is kind of named after, it's inspired how I understand it, which I think is a good way to understand it, as we see Lazy comes over here with a miniature boat that no one can see and I have to fight him. It's inspired by YouTuber Eren. For any of you who speak Turkish, there's a Turkish YouTuber who has million view games in Territorialio, and guess what? He full sends before this was the meta. So I'm just fighting Lazy. I know I need to push him off. I'm using red states as a buffer here, and that's kind of my play. We see Union Magico. We love Union Magico. He's a great dude, and he's actually competing with Lazy. We have the top 3 players in terms of clan contribution in this game. He full sent for some reason. Maybe he thought he was doomed. I used red as a buffer state, and all I'm going to do here is just kind of do some sit on higher density, slowly push down black. We can see this Poland dude kind of fighting over here, trying to do his best against our team, but I've got too much of a snowball without doing like a totally proper opening. But in many ways, what I did actually resembles what people are finding out is the new meta. So remember, if you want to see a video on that, leave a comment. I'm just cleaning up Lazy. He saw the writing on the wall. He's the top rated player in clan contributions now. Congrats to Lazy. So I just slowly clean up everyone else. Going down. We got this going. And yeah, so that's some things to consider with this new update. I eventually just call peace vote here because I don't need the points. Let people live, let people feel okay. So thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, if you want to see more about the exploit, about cheating, about this bullshit, check out Asazi's video. Let me know if you want to see more from me about some more of the math and stuff. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.